A whisper. Secrets on the wind intertwined with rustling leaves. A hushed lament echoing through the air. A sorrowful melody that draws tears from the skies above, and you see the clouds open and send a deluge upon the town of Achray. The news arrived in the form of a tattered parchment, carried upon the wind itself, and gently deposited at the doorstep of Sage Elowin's humble abode. Elowin, the wise and weathered hedge, was known throughout Achray for her ability to commune with the spirits of the land and interpret the signs woven into the fabric of nature itself. As dawn rises and paints the sky in hues of rose and gold, Elowin unfolds the parchment, its edges worn with weathering and the passage of time. And the ink, a deep shade of forest green, seems to resonate with some otherworldly energy. And the letter, written in a script only familiar to those attuned to the ancient ways, bore a haunting message. And Elowin's eyes widened with concern as she absorbed these cryptic words. The village, once filled with the soothing presence of the druidic circle, now felt bereft of its natural harmony. And nestled on the edge of a pristine loch, the village of Achray unfolds like a tapestry woven by the spirits of the surrounding Humblewood. There are trees of various shapes and sizes that embrace this settlement, and the air is tinged with an earthy fragrance of moss, the sweet scent of wildflowers. And as the sun continues to rise, we hear a cry from the top of a building, where we see a large rooster-like creature telling the town that it is time to wake up. And as they do so, another voice breaks through the morning silence. "Oh, darling, do you have to do that right outside our bedroom window? You're going to wake up the little ones." And Rachel, could you describe your character for us and tell us who we see?
So you see a portly but strong-willed rooster on the top of the building, getting ready. He's holding a horn in one hand. It's a small horn. It's not a long horn. I just want to clear that up. And he's getting ready to toot the announcement of the morning. This is none other than Red Phantom Fleet. He, him.
And as you get ready to toot that, we hear another voice from inside the window going, "Daddy, what are you doing out there on the roof? You're going to fall."
Oh, darling, darling, my darling twins, you stay inside. This is a daddy's job. But maybe one day you'll be crowing from the rooftops like your old man.
And you see kind of moving their way over to the window are these two small little chicken toddlers wearing matching pajama sets, with the the little kind of bum flap that comes off at the back that you would find in all like old kid stories. One of them has this kind of like red wattle along the top. The other one has like a bright yellow patch of feathers, and they just look up at you like, "Can we come out with you?"
Not today, but maybe one day soon. If you're going to stand on the top of the building, you need to be able to fly a little bit.
Oh well, I've been practicing. We've both been practicing it. Yeah, we've been practicing. We can do it.
I know you have Albert a little bit more than that, okay?
But maybe tomorrow then.
You know what? Maybe tomorrow I'll put you on my shoulder and you can see the view. How does that sound?
Promise.
Pinky promise.
And this one, like Albert puts out a little small feathery pinky. As Hetty, your wife, comes behind. It's like, "Okay, kids, let's go. Leave Dad to his work this morning. You got a long shift today? You're up earlier than usual."
You know how it is. I'll do my rounds and then, maybe we'll make a little time for 11s.
Okay, well, try and be home. Try and be home for lunch if you can, and I'll have something on the table.
I'll do my best, my love.
And you turn back to see, as you're calling out, parts of the town starting to wake up. You see the light switch on in a small tailor shop. You see carts being pushed around in the street, and you see, doing the big stretch and emerging out of a dark corner, a red fox. Dagmar, could you please describe your character and tell us what you were up to during the night?
Yes, I'm playing Penelope, or Pen for short. I am a Vulpin, and I'm still trying to find where exactly I fit in Achray. So every night I find a relatively sheltered spot, sometimes near the temple, sometimes just wherever takes my fancy. And I curl up, I turn my kind of light blue and cream colored overdress into a pillow, and I just curl up under a bush or under the stars if the weather's particularly nice. But now, after finishing my big stretch, sort of unhinging and clicking my jaw around, put the dress back on over my very robust traveling clothes. Dress has multiple slits cut in it so that my legs are free whenever they need to be. And I very quickly twirl my hands when I make sure no one's looking, and a rapier appears, which I slide into a sheath, and I start slowly making my way to the temple to see if there's anything that needs doing.
And Red, you would see Penelope or Pen doing this. Would you call out or leave them to their business?
I think Red is too engrossed in his morning ritual singing, tooting his horn, and making sure the good people of Achray are well and truly awake.
Okay. Pen, you head towards the temple, and not too far after where you've headed, about a minute or two down the road, you see coming down the street a familiar figure, a small, very hunched little figure. She looks to be in a little bit of distress, heading in your direction. You know this person well, probably one of the people you know best in the town. This is Sage Elowin, a small little hedgehog who looks to be very distressed and moving very quickly in spite of her age. And she's heading straight towards you.
Yeah, if she's heading straight toward me, I'll call as a greeting. Good morning, sister. You, is everything all right?
Oh, no, things are pretty bad. I'm headed to see the mayor. But actually, you might be able to help. A message came this morning, and I really think that things are pretty bad. And she would shove a letter into your hands. And at this point, Dagmar, you can open that letter for me.
Okay. Break the seal. Seek the shadowed grove where the moonlight weaves its silver threads. The circle is broken, and the winds carry the whispers of a forbidden ritual. Darkness encroaches upon the sacred dance, and the spirits mourn their absence. The veil between worlds frays, and Achray stands at the precipice of an unknown fate.
At this moment, you feel a flash in your mind. Teeth gnashing, blood dripping, fires burning. A small wrinkled hand lies with a crumpled note. And then you feel a command. Follow.
Of course. Whatever you ask.
Who are you talking to? You see how grave the danger we're in.
I'll do whatever you ask, sister. How can I help?
We need someone to head to the circle. I feel something terrible has happened to the Blaeberries, and if that's true, this entire town, nay, this entire land is in grave danger.
Well, I'll go.
The road ahead is long, troubled, and dangerous. Death, my dear friend, is a sincere possibility, and you must be all ready to face the danger that will come in the days ahead.
Well, then I'll find someone who'll go with me.
Well, who would go?
Rory.
The tailor's boy? The what? Really?
He wants to adventure. He's capable with a sword. I've seen him.
Well, okay, if he's likely to.
And Red used to wander the roads. No.
The baker's got the kids to look after, and it seems. I mean, they're very, very capable, but it seemed a lot to be asking.
You know the people of Achray better than I. Who would you suggest?
I mean, my go-to is always going to be the druids, but I mean that's not possible now. Speak to Desmond, will you?
Of course.
He has a map, and that may help with finding exactly the route towards the circle themselves. And let's meet back in the tavern this afternoon. Go into the back room, ask at the bar, and they'll let you into the back room, and I'll be there with the mayor. Hopefully he's not drunk.
Well, otherwise, I'm sure you'll be able to sober him up. I'll go talk to Desmond immediately. And I will take off towards the library.
Perfect, okay. We then kind of zoom out of the scene, and we are inside of a little tailor shop. And we hear a very hofty voice just going, saying, "My dear sir, I will not ask you again. Your rent is overdue." And with a pair of kind of half-moon spectacles atop a beak is a cross-looking osprey staring threateningly down at a small crested tit. He's wearing an ill-fitting suit, and pinned to his lapel is a shining bright fish scale. Alex, could you describe your character for me?
Yep. So I am playing Rory Douglas. They are a crested tit, which for those of you who aren't familiar, they're a little sort of cream and black bird with a magnificent crest on the top, a little eye mask, and they're wearing a little kilt and a velvet jacket.
Perhaps I should speak to your father if you're not able to come up with the money.
No, there's no need for that at all. I just thought that the wedding party were going to buy more of the brocade. I'll get the money for you as soon as I can.
And how soon is soon? Rent's overdue. We will add that on with a little bit of interest.
Of course. That's only to be expected. I will speak to some of my regulars and see if we can up their orders a bit.
Regulars? Who would you be taking that money off of? Perhaps I should just go straight to them instead.
No. No need to bother them.
Well, they may be overdue too, and I would rather that I took their money before they put it in your hands.
That's something you'll have to discuss with them.
Perhaps I will speak with your father. I think that's probably the quickest way to get through. Good day to you, Rory. And he steps out the door, and as he does so, he bumps directly into a shadowy figure hanging outside the front door. He trips and falls over to the ground. "Oh, my suit!" And looks up at Khalil's character. Could you tell us a little bit about who you are, please?
You see Poe Brighteye. He is a Corvum, which is the Humblewood crow folk. So he's diminutive. He is he's a hooded crow. So he has a kind of grey patterning to his little kind of waistcoat and hood on his otherwise black feathering. and he is dressed in not rags, but he's not particularly clean. He's got a kind of hooded robe, not a robe, a kind of hooded kind of short jacket and kind of short breeches. And you can see his kind of feathered arms that aren't quite wings, and his scaly feet. And as the mayor tripped over me, I think I am really resisting the temptation to try to potentially have a rummage through the pockets.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm really trying to resist the temptation to. The mayor and I mean, the mayor doesn't really know me, but I know the mayor.
I would just to interject a little bit. This isn't the mayor. This is the town landlord.
Sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
No, it's okay. We haven't quite met the mayor yet.
But sorry, but this landlord and I, the landlord doesn't know me, but I know him. As soon as the door opens, before he trips over me, there's like a kind of freeze frame moment, and you just see my eye go, and there's a little ding as you see the reflection of that shiny fish scale in my eye. It's shiny and it's beautiful, and it really, I mean, it's basically mine. Like, obviously he like technically owns it, but like it is winking at me.
Do you wish to try and get closer to it, or are you just looking for now?
Is it okay if I roll a self-imposed wisdom save?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. First roll of the campaign.
That is going to be an 18. So I think I realized that, and you know, crows are excellent planners. So I realized that this is not the right time to be making a move in broad daylight.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of like I'm looking through, almost like I'm looking like through the keyhole, or I've been peeking round the door as it's been burst through. So I was clearly not just strolling through the door at the same time.
Okay, you restrain yourself from trying to like reach out a feathered hand towards this fish scale or anything else that may be in the landlord's pockets. He dusts himself off as it, the filth you get around here, and walks off at that point, and you just see holding the door is Rory.
Filth you get around here? That's him. He's the filth. And if I could spit, I would. Alright, Rory.
Hi. He's certainly forceful.
Yeah, what do you want this time?
Same as always. Rent.
If only you could pay rent in buttons. You want to see some of the new stock?
Ooh. Oh, yes, please.
And I open up one side of my jacket, and it click, click, clack, clack, clacks as like row upon row of various kind of shiny colored buttons of various. None of them match each other. There are no sets. These are all single buttons that have, by accident or by accident, become removed from the item of clothing originally. There are, mother of pearl ones that are kind of towards the kind of pricey end, and those are going to be further towards my body, so I can keep an eye on those. Then the ones at the edge are more like your reds, your greens. There are some plain bone ones or plain wooden ones. You'll like this one especially. It must have come off a rather nice jacket, and it is a those like domed gold buttons from like a military jacket or like a dress coat or something like that. Like, oh yeah, look at that. That's really shiny.
I think I sort of like I basically go to sort of behind the till and just sort of like scraping over whatever like pennies I can find. It's just like, what can I afford? These many buttons that I would like to own.
I think I see the kind of the handful of pennies, and I go, ooh, maybe we'll save that one for later. Let me find something more in your price range, sir.
As you go to look at other buttons, Rory, could I get you to make me a perception check to see if you recognise any of the buttons?
You can indeed. Let's go physical dice. They're less likely to distract me, I feel. 12.
With a 12, I would say that none of the buttons in the collection of Poe are ones that you might recognise as perhaps have been your own at some point in the past. But Poe, are you looking for something a little bit more in the price range of a couple of pennies?
I mean, in the couple of pennies price range, it will probably be one of those like plain but like nicely made kind of wooden ones. Or like a toggle. Like,
I think
how about these? Very functional.
I managed to like scrape a little bit more money, and it's like not enough to buy your fanciest one by any means, but
all right, that'll get you. That'll get you. Now this one, because you're a mate, because you're a good customer, I could get you this. And I pull out, and this is going to be. It's hard to tell whether it's like silver or like silver plated or just very shiny pewter, but there is a little bit of blood on it.
I just grab a
Not
handkerchief and just oh, that comes right off. Slightly unsettled, but
Oh, it was like that when I found it, I swear.
Can I insight check that?
You can, absolutely, if Poe wants to like deceive or
17.
telling the truth.
I got an 18.
Ooh.
Rory, you're taken in by this. You believe that it was indeed found like that.
Ooh, I can't resist that one. It is a very pretty one. Maybe it's
nice
sort of
that
like
waistcoat you got.
a nice jacket or something.
Yeah, it's a good weight. You can tell it's real.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I sort of will sort of go through and sort of pick a few other sort of, I think, not necessarily the prettiest ones, but just sort of very sort of like pretentious art studenty choices. I feel it's like just a bit bougie, and sort of rummage together as many sort of those as I think I can afford with my meager means.
And so you would get definitely a fair trade from Poe. Poe is not necessarily going to try and swindle you. Poe has no compunction taking your rent money for buttons, but like these are, Poe will offer what he genuinely thinks is an appropriate exchange. That kind of fair exchange is important, and you'll know that from your relationship with Poe.
I mean, there's not any work you need doing that I could help out for a bit.
Well, I mean, if you hear any interesting information around town, I'm always interested in that. Or you got any tips on anything shiny?
I'll certainly keep an eye out. I was thinking more along the tailoring side, like we could have some nice trim along the edge of your hood, maybe.
Nah, I can't have anything too interesting in my peripheral vision, because then I'm just going to pay attention to it. And I need to pay attention to all the interesting stuff out there, because it's not going to pay attention to itself, you know what I mean?
As you finish that, there's just that kind of rap at the window of the shop. As you turn around, Rory, and see Morag standing in the window going, "Oh, little shit! Morning!
Morning, Morag!
How's your day going? Is he causing you bother?"
No, he's fine. Just had the landlord in again, though.
Oh, he's giving you bother.
Yeah.
Right. For the audience at home, you see a Scottish crossbow wearing leathers and kind of suited up feathers. They're the town blacksmith, and they will be like, "Do you need me to have a word with him? Like he's terrified of me."
Have I done this before, do we reckon?
Would you reckon? Would you have got Morag to have had a word with the landlord in the past?
I don't think I intended to have that done. I might have just sort of... She might have just kind of done it without me intending that to be the case.
Last time I did it, like it put him on edge, and he's getting too big for his talons, you know?
He's...
Yeah, no worries. You know we're tight. You don't need to. I'll make it happen. She turns and walks off, and at that point, Pen, you're also walking past, and you hear the voices from inside, and you see Poe inside the shop. Would you stop, or are you heading on straight towards the library? Oh, you're muted.
Is the door still open?
Yeah, it would still be open.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, the first thing that Poe would notice is something very shiny. The only shiny thing I have other than my rapier, which is a sort of upside down arrowhead-shaped cloak clasp made of a sort of iridescent green-blue material that is definitely catching the morning light. I think as I walk past, knowing this is Rory's shop, I will call out, Rory, there might be an adventure. Come to the library.
Ooh.
And then just keep going.
What? Like, just like...
Yes.
As Pen walks past, Poe is definitely not making eye contact, but not for the reason that people normally don't make eye contact when people pass. I'm looking directly at this clasp. In that way that birds turn their head without moving the rest of their body.
Do you want to make me another wisdom saving throw?
Okie. That's gonna be... Ooh! That's gonna be a 5.
You found the next object of your desire.
Okay. Well, the next time Rory looks around to say anything to Poe, he's gone. I'm gonna skulk away with a 21 stealth check. I'm gonna just nip down an alley, maybe kind of hop up onto one of the rooftops or something and try and follow Pen from a distance.
As you go down the alley, you just watch there's just a moose in the alley that is just having a pee. Whoa. Give a man privacy.
Sorry, mate. Don't mind me. And I'm gonna try and use the moose as a bit of a kind of set of steps to try and get up onto the roof.
Okay, quite a big creature. Do you want to make an acrobatics?
I'm gonna try and
check
avoid the stream.
Yeah.
Don't cross the stream.
God, I love Scotland.
Yeah. That is gonna be a
No
22.
moose up here.
What was it? Sorry. What was your
22?
22. Yeah, you avoid the stream. You're able to clamber up over the oversized antlers, get yourself up onto the roof. No one has seen you except for this moose that is just.
Sorry, mate. I wasn't here. Yep, all good. Yep. So, yeah, just hold still. Just a little bit to the left. Yeah. Cheers.
And before we come back to see how Red's morning bakery run is going, how does Rory react to being told that one, those might be an adventure, and two, Poe just vanished?
I feel like Poe just vanishing is just a thing they associate with Poe. Just like they just sort of come and go mysteriously, and Rory just doesn't think too much about it. It's just like that's just what they're like. In terms of the reaction to this adventure, though, I think Rory sort of scurries back up to their little bedroom, and hidden under their mattress is a birthday present they were given by Morag, and it's just a little short sword that she forged for them. Just sort of tucks it into the belt and just scurries off down to the library, or then runs back to lock the door, and then
As you run
I'm
back
just
to lock the door, you just hear a voice. It's just a memory in your head just going, why can't you just be normal? Why do you have to run off like this and go on an adventure? You're a Douglas. You'll always be a Douglas. We stay here and we get a job.
There's just a slight more like forceful slam of the door than was quite intended. And just like, no, I'm just going to push that thought down.
A small crack in the glass of the door. Just a small one. As you turn and head off towards the library. And then, Red, you are enjoying your morning run of your bakery run. Where would you be going first? Who would you be visiting? Who's your first customer of the day?
So my first customer of the day, I'm probably going, although I'm a chicken, I'm probably going as the crow flies. So whoever's nearest, I'll hit up first. And I have a feeling just because of the way, you know, a central business district might be run, that I might be heading to the tavern.
Okay, yeah.
But also, Red has a little song that he sings on his journey. And it goes like this. Oh, good morning, crack of dawn. Dawn is when the bread is born. Wake up, Achray, to my horn. Morning, morning, all. And then it carries on with the little trumpet, the little horn.
You know when someone just gives you a natural 20? So you don't need to roll performance for that, absolutely. And you reach the front door of the Thornhaven, which is the town tavern. And the door is unlocked if you're heading on in at this point to drop off your order.
Red is heading in a little bit too enthusiastically.
Okay. You crash in through the door and you just see that behind the bar, you just see lots of little spikes up. Was like, oh, morning, Red, morning. And you know that behind the bar is Ernest, who is the hedgehog landlord of the tavern. Not the same landlord as the Osprey. He runs the bar. How's it going? Are you well? You well?
Morning, Ernest. You know me. Up with the crack of dawn, up and ready to run. So I've got your bread, but you do know that I do small batch craft beers. I do have a little brewery out the back, and I feel like I've mentioned it a couple of times, but you never ordered a cask. So I thought I'd just mention it again, really, Ernest, in the morning.
Yeah, we. What do you exactly have to offer? Memory's not like what it used to be. Are you selling just like a plain old ale? Have you got something darker? What are you? Maybe we can
Well,
get
first
something
of all,
on
nothing is plain from the loving oven. Everything made with love. And then I know I'm not a druid per se, but I do grow a mean crop. So we got a little bit of barley, a little bit of wheat, a little bit of oats. I'll brew you up anything you like. Maybe we could try a new brew. Me and you together, Ernest. What do you think?
And what like a Thornhaven original? Because we always get it ordered in from Falak. So.
I'm so tired of Fallout. Let's get a Thornhaven original, man.
Right. Well, you know what? Let's do it. Right. And he would spit in his hand and reach out to you.
Red licks his wing hand and slaps it into the little hedgehog hand.
It's a deal.
It's a deal, my good man.
And now it's quite early in the morning, and he's not quite ready to wake up yet. So we're not gonna make too much noise. You know how he gets if we wake him too early. And you look over and you just see this really large goose that is like out cold with its head on a table.
Ah, yeah. The golden goose, the golden goose. Don't you worry, my mate Ernest. I won't wake him.
Oh, you know how the mayor is if you get him up in the morning too early. It's he doesn't like being woken before midday.
You know, Ernest, he may be the mayor, but I think you're the man with the plan, and we're gonna brew a Thornbelt local.
You really do know how to make a client feel welcome, don't you?
I do my best. I really think Achray should be for everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, so some of us have been here longer than others, and some might be more talented or more fitted into a circle of druids that not everyone could get in. But some of us have other things to offer, like bread and morning enthusiasm. Isn't that right?
Well, you're full of both usually, so I certainly can't argue with that. Do you mind if I give the little guy something? And we'll just like take out like some what look like dog biscuits, like, you know, for the little guy, and you'll just hear in your pocket this like whining from the mason jar that you carry with you.
Oh man, there's nothing more that he loves than to be fed. So thank you very much. First feed of the day, I'll have you know, Ernest. All right, come out, you little critter.
You unclasp the jar, and coming out of it, we see this sniffs the air with no nose, but you see this sourdough starter. And we'll watch the dog biscuit and snatch it out of Ernest's hand. You know, I never got tired of that. I absolutely love it. How do you get dough to do that?
Hey, I just started him. He's the cultured one.
Oh, you certainly do come with that enthusiasm and sunshine and bread every morning. It does it starts the day well, you know.
Oh, thanks, mate. I love a compliment like that. I could just lay an egg.
Well, don't be cracking up too much right here. We've just mopped the floor. It's, you know, if that mare gets up and slips on some yolk, like, no one's gonna be happy about that. So,
don't you worry, my love. I'll clench my cloaca for now.
Oh, that's a bit too much information for the morning. Come on.
Sorry, Ernest. I was being earnest, but maybe next time I'll be frank.
You have a good day now. Come back in with that beer as soon as you've got it ready.
All right, my love. I'll see you tomorrow.
And you continue your rounds, and as this happens, you will just see walking down the road your wife and two kids off out for a little wander first thing in the morning. They see you, you're Daddy!
Ah, who are these two fine adventurers, eh? And with such a stunning chaperone. Good morning, my lady.
You've been in the pub already this morning?
No, you know how I am before 7.
Well, yeah, I've been struggling to get any sleep. We're just like heading for a wander around town. Not here, not in public. Come on, there's people around. If remember, around 11 a.m. back for some kind of early lunch.
Yes, lunch, absolutely. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Fabulous. We're gonna pop by the library, like return a book for these guys, and see what else Desmond might have for them.
Love Desmond. Send him my best wishes, and in fact, just give him a bun from me. A hand over a cross bun.
Oh, sure. Have you got one more of those? I've not had a chance to get breakfast yet.
We never run out of buns in the loving oven. And hands over enough to quench the children's hunger.
Breaks it in half, gives the half to the kids, and has some for herself. She wanders off in the direction of the library. You continue on your round this morning, bringing joy to the streets, singing your song. And Penelope, we find you at the entrance to the library.
Yeah. Do I know where Desmond would be at this time of morning?
Desmond is up at the crack of dawn. He lives next door to Red. He doesn't really get much choice, so he will usually be inside at his desk, like, nice and early.
Okay, yeah. Just as long, yeah. I will go up to his desk. Desmond, Sage Elowin's got a problem and needs your advice.
And behind the desk there is just with an oversized newspaper. There is no response from behind it.
I'm just going to, like, I'm gonna just try to push the newspaper down and look over it at the water shrew behind.
Oh, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Desmond.
Didn't hear you there.
Right. Sage Elwyn needs your advice.
What's that lovely one asking for?
Who can she send on a potentially deadly quest?
A deadly quest?
You let go of the newspaper.
Well, what?
Maybe you should read this. I'll pass him the letter.
It's like he is a small shrew, and this is a big bit of paper, so he disappears behind it again and reads it for like another minute. Well, that's not good news at all. And she sent you here to do this? Who are you?
Oh, I offered to help.
What's your name?
I'm Penelope. I'm new.
It's lovely to meet you, Percival.
Nice to meet you as well. Penelope.
Yeah.
Not Percival.
It's a horrible affliction, isn't it?
Desmond. Do you know who might go on an adventure?
I don't need any. But what about this letter? This is bad. At this point, Rory, you come in the door. Now I'm rushing behind. Oh, Rory, it's you. How are you, my lad? Have you met Percival?
I'm gonna take the letter back and just hand it to Rory.
I sort of skim down it.
I am 100% eavesdropping.
He's hiding in the corner.
Yeah, you just see like in the corner of one of the windows, just like this little kind of quarter circle of black feathers, and then the beadiest eye you've ever seen, just peeking round.
Sam, given that Desmond appears to be a bit deaf, I would like to use minor illusion to create in a 5-foot cube the words, "Who can we send to the circle?"
Oh my goodness, who's doing that?
Rory, is there a trick
Rory,
to talking to Desmond?
Is this your magic, Rory?
This is
witch.
Pens.
A witch in
I'm just gonna shake the letter at him.
It's bad, isn't it?
Pointing at giant words that are floating in front of his face.
Rory, you doing? No.
So I think, like, Rory has spent a lot more time around Desmond than Penn has. So they're going to sort of recount. That's right. They're going to basically just sort of go off on a slightly tangented way, designed to sort of like bring Desmond round to the right point of the conversation, the sort of long way round. Just sort of like, oh, if only you could, someone wise like yourself could think what we should do next.
You know, I have an idea about what we should do next. Have you ever been to the circle before to visit the druids? It's a long journey, and I was getting a little worried. They haven't been in a long time. Well, I do have a map somewhere, and he will just like step off of his chair and he just disappears. It's like he's fallen 10 feet for him because he's just so small. And comes round the edge of this large table. And he's like, "Can someone help me with my ladder?"
I
And I see
just
a
sort
ladder.
of pick him up and put him on the ladder.
Oh, no, my lad. Put me down. Just bring the ladder to me and I'll do the climbing myself.
I will move the ladder.
Yeah.
Ah, you're so kind, Peter. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in the top corner up there. Can you give it a push? Push me over there.
I'm going to gently move it over to where he says it is.
Okay. At this point, the door opens again, and in comes Hetty and the two boys. And we'll turn round like, "Oh, Henrietta! Henry and the boys, I'll be right with you." And he just climbs down the ladder again and goes back towards the kids.
I'm gonna, as he's climbing down, I'm gonna step over him and start climbing up the
Yeah,
ladder.
of course. If you want to make me an investigation check to see if you can find any
Yes,
old
please, I would-
maps up there.
I would love to.
Can I assist in that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So I'll
Right.
just be like peering around.
Well, that turned a nat 5 into a nat 17 for a total of 21.
Okay, with 21, you'll see that there are a number of old maps in here. You take a look at them quickly and find that there is one that just has in large kind of calligraphized black ink the circle of Blaeberries. And it's a fairly bare map other than points that you have to look for. There are 4 points on this. There is the town you're in, Achray. There is the concrete valley. There's the Devil's Staircase. And then there is the circle at the foot of the Nevisian mountain.
Does it indicate the type of terrain by any chance?
So it's varied. It shows that it remains quite flat for a while. There's then a steep topographical change as you will go down, and then extremely steep.
I meant more like forestation.
Yeah. In the first section, it is kind of temperate rainforest, and then you get into open mountain after the valley.
Well, I'll be able to get through the forest quickly if I can find some of the paths my old friends used to use. Rory, do you know anyone else who'd go to the circle at risk of death?
I mean, that second part is that's important to include when you're asking the question, I feel.
Well, it's the part I'd always exclude, but I'm guessing Sage Elowen will mention it to whoever I bring to the tavern.
I mean, I'll certainly come with you. I've never been that far, but it'd be really exciting. I mean, what's actually at the circle? Because, like,
Oh, I've no idea. I'm from the other coast.
I mean, maybe Poe?
Yeah, whilst this conversation's going on, Poe is outside, and you will hear your name, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think whilst Penelope whilst this fox person, who I've never met, is getting increasingly het up and increasingly stressed out and increasingly devoted to this task of getting this map, I think Poe might have seen that as an opportunity to try to kind of maybe sidle into some nearby shadows, or maybe like just to kind of get a little bit closer in that kind of quite cautious and suspicious way that a crow will kind of hop, 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 look around a little bit, hop, hop, hop.
You're welcome to make me a stealth check at advantage, because the chicken and the kids and the shrew are deep in conversation, and the other two are having a conversation about death.
So I got a nat 1 and a nat 3. So that takes it to an 8 total.
You do the little hops inside, and you do a hop to one side, a hop to the other, and as you go to the left, you knock over a plant which smashes a ceramic pot onto the floor. Desmond doesn't notice, but Penelope and Rory, you will hear this happen.
I'm standing completely still.
Oh, hi, Poe. What were we just talking about you?
Is the circle
Nice
shiny?
to meet you. I don't
I mean-
know.
there's probably something shiny on the way.
I mean, how much death? How much risk?
I don't know. Sage Yellowwind said to come to the tavern, and she'd explain there. You can come with us.
What's on offer? What's the trade? It's got to be fair trade. Don't do anything for free.
Life.
I've got life.
You would be like a hero to the whole town, and think of all the shiny things they would give a hero. Like, they get medals.
Medals are pretty shiny. Okay. What's this medal? Like, how shiny are we talking? How big?
I mean, I don't know the
colors.
Details yet. We'd have to go talk
Does
to
it make
Sage
a
Yellowwind.
noise?
As this is happening, I'm taking another shiny thing out of my pocket, and I'm just holding up a crystal. I'll give you this.
Have you ever seen a crow get a lazy eye in real time? Just like. What? Whoa. Can I use my appraising eye, which is a Corvum ability?
What does that do?
By spending an action examining any object, I can determine any magical properties the item has, how it might be used or activated, as well as a fair estimation of the market price. I can do this once for short rest.
Ooh.
Of course you can. Is there
Yeah.
any information that Poe would get?
Yeah,
from that?
this is
How shiny is it? How interesting is it?
this is my arcane focus. So it's worth about 10 gold pieces, but it's what sort of empowers me to cast magic. It looks a little bit like it could be some kind of like, it looks like a crystal, but it's encrusted with like mother of pearl. So it's a combination of shiny from the crystal and shiny from the mother of pearl.
That is quite shiny.
It is.
What about that? And I
No.
point to the clasp.
You can't have that one.
What about that and the shiniest thing we find?
That I'm fine with.
Okay. I'm not going to shake on it yet.
But you
No
don't get it
more.
until we're done.
We can talk details once we've got a bit more information about what the job is. But as a baseline call-out fee, we're talking big shiny thing and something else shiny.
Sure. Sounds good.
Excellent.
We'll zoom out of
Do you
the
want
scene.
paying, Rory?
I mean, I do need money.
Right, well, I haven't got any, so we'll need to ask Sage Yellowwind for that.
I mean, I wasn't assuming that I would be, but you did ask, so
Joe, as long as you don't say you also want something shiny. I've only got 2 shiny things.
Oh no, we'll talk to Sage Yellowwind and work out what's going on there. Maybe.
Okay, let's go to the tavern then.
Before you
Thank
leave,
you. Thank you, Desmond.
Before you leave, you'll just overhear him talking to Hetty and the boys, and just be like, "And did you enjoy? And did you enjoy the book? It's fantastic, isn't it?" And just Albert was like, "I didn't understand it. It was a little bit rudimentary for my liking. I think I could have looked at something that was a little bit more complicated." And Desmond is just like, "I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much." And like, we'll stamp that one, and here's another picture book, and we'll just hand that over. Hetty will spin round and be like, "You 3 going on some sort of adventure?"
Probably. Possibly.
Okay, don't be mentioning that to my husband.
I don't know who your husband is, so that should be fine. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Zooming out of this building, Red, you're walking down the street, continuing your deliveries, and you just see at the corner of one of the general stores is a crossbill who is holding an osprey by his like collar and just being like, and if you ever touch him again, I will break your fucking legs. Have we got this clear? And there's just the landlord like, he owes me rent, he owes me money, what do you expect me to do?
Well, rent's quite an issue here. You know that my priority is making sure everyone feels at home. Landlord, whatever your name is. Mate, are you alright? He's not bothering you, is he?
It's bothering my friend Rory is what he's doing. And
wow.
It's not right. It's not right. Going
I
in...
agree with you. You can't be putting people over profit just because you're a landlord.
No, it's like it's the absolute worst. He continually goes in and harasses him. He's just a small tailor trying to do his best. I mean, look at these incredible leathers that he made for me. Like, he does his absolute best with the work that he has, and instead we just get pricks like this coming round and demanding every little bit of profit he gets.
Well, Blimeneck, those are some tanned leathers, if I do say so myself. Landlord, can you not see the craftsmanship that's coming from this establishment?
It's fantastic, and it really is, and I would expect that perhaps they'd make some more sales and be able to pay his fees.
Well, if I do say so myself, for a man of your class position, you are looking a little bit scruffy these days. I've heard the people talk.
What do you mean? This is a fantastic suit.
When was the last time you got those knees patched, mate?
Well, you know, I'm hard at work. I'm working on my portfolio. I don't have time for this.
Of course, of course. We all have to get down on our knees every once and again. So why don't you settle this? We'll get you patched up, and how about you leave little bird alone?
Yeah, of course, Morag, don't worry. I'm not gonna. He can settle it next month. It's fine. And
there we go.
She just throws him into the dirt, and he kind of lands with a thump on the ground. The second time today. That won't help my knee patches. Gets back up and storms off. Morag will turn to you like, "Thanks for backing me up, mate."
Oh, anytime. He's a dick.
That's one way to describe it. If you ever need anything, stop by my shop and we'll see what we can get you.
All right. Cheers.
Good. Have a good day. Actually, do you mind if I grab one of those rolls?
Go on, Morag. You know you're always welcome.
Thanks very much, Red. And she will like pull just like a little block of butter out of her pocket and just get spread it on, and off she goes. On the ground, you see a shiny thing.
Does the shiny thing look like it belongs in Achray?
Make a perception check or arcana check, depending on what you would prefer to do.
I'll do perception. That will be... It's a 5.
You're not sure. It's shiny. It's a thing on the ground. Looks cool.
Well then, seems like I need a closer look. Red picks it up and has a closer look.
You feel good.
Oh. Well then, Red pops it in the little pocket of his apron and carries on with his little bread basket with a little spring in his step, his bandy knees.
And as you continue on, the rest of you arrive at the tavern, hopefully to meet Sage Elowin, maybe grab a bite to eat and a drink, and find this elusive mayor. We're going to go for a 5-minute break at that point. And we'll be right back, folks. See you soon. are back. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 1 of Whispers from the Grove. And our party are, or at least 3 of them, are heading towards the tavern to meet Sage Elowen and the mayor to discuss the problem that is afoot and how they might be about to head out to try and solve it. So you make your way towards the tavern of the town, walking along as a group of 3. Anything that you're doing as you make your way there? A group that I imagine hasn't spent all that much time together in the past.
Poe is probably not initiating a huge amount of conversation, but is just keeping pace, but being more kind of observant, keeping an eye out for that landlord as well.
Penelope is also probably not too talkative right now, other than telling everyone else to hurry up, as she is just rapidly making her way towards the tavern.
I mean, I think Rory hasn't spent that much time socially with either of you, and to some degree is just sort of chatting. I think more at Penn. I think who they know less than Poe. They're just I really think if you had a belt here, it would cinch the waist really impressively. It would look really nice.
Oh, yes, that sounds great. We should discuss that definitely. I'd love to get your opinion. But we really need to hurry.
As you say, we need to hurry. Rory, you hear a shout going, "Rory Douglas, why is this shop closed?"
Whose voice is it?
It is your father. This is Alistair.
Has he seen me, or is he
He's
shouting ambiently?
No. He has seen you in the street.
I sort of just twist around almost like a jump scare. Just sort of well, I'm just going to go see the mayor. Important business.
Are you selling him a suit?
I mean, if I can.
Oh, good lad. Well, make sure the shop's open soon. Those coins don't bring themselves in, you know.
They don't indeed.
And he will just kind of tap his walking cane and head on the other direction from where you're going.
On that note, in our earlier little deal, how much of their rent money would I have got for those for one bloodstained but shiny metal button and 2 quite plain wooden buttons?
I don't think it was a huge portion. I think it's I think the money that you were paid with was if you tried to pay your rent and you just came up with a penny jar. It's
maybe let's say that the shiny one was a silver and the wooden ones were a copper each.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
All right.
I've no idea how much my rent is, but yeah.
And you continue on towards Thornhaven and enter into the kind of warm interior of the tavern, and you all hear the familiar voice of Ernest coming over the top of the bar. That, "Good morning, it's early for drinks, but welcome on in. Poe, we don't usually see you in here. Rory, the shop must be doing well if you're taking some time off to be on in, and I don't believe we have met properly."
I'm Penelope. It's nice to meet you. Sage Elowen said we could use the back room.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I did. The mayor is in there too. He's in one of his
perfect.
moods, just so you know.
That's not a problem. I promise you. For at least an hour, won't be a problem.
Right, that seems vaguely threatening. But yeah,
It wasn't meant to be.
okay. can I get you a drink for I'll bring it through. Would you like any sort of refreshments?
Just a bit of water for me. I'll...
Some water. Yes, I can do that. Anything for any of the others?
I'm alright.
Do you have a house draft?
Yes, I can get you. It comes in pints or 2 pints.
Pints. Thank you.
I'll bring it on through.
I'm sure it's lovely.
The mayor's paying, so like no need for you to leave any silvers behind. Anyway, yep, take through the curtain at the back, and you'll find them back there.
Pen's like halfway through the curtain when she remembers she should say thank you. And then turns around and does, and then continues on.
You're more than welcome.
Poe has immediately started skulking upon entry to this pub. As the barman made clear, this is not a usual haunt for me. So yeah, I would have kind of been going from shadowier area to shadowier area.
Mr. Bright Eye, you're welcome here anytime. You don't need to skulk in the shadows.
Thank you. Noted. Yep. Good day. Pop.
I feel like there's like some kind of mounted head on the wall, or maybe like a mounted fish or something, and I just see it before Poe does and just tries to like steer Poe forward before they spot the glass eye.
It's like a big mouth Billy Bass.
Oh no! God damn it!
Do I spot it? I'm rolling perception. Ooh, that's high. That's 23.
Yeah.
I
You will see that on the wall. And I say big mouth Billy Bass is like kind of way to say that that's a thing, but it is an Arctic char. You see, which is a species of fish that is found in Loch Lomond in Scotland. It's an unusual species to find, but they do live there. They're a local delicacy, but they have one mounted on the wall here. Glittering scales, big shiny eye.
On second thought, we'll take you up on that offer of that drink if the mayor's paying. You know, our taxes pay for it.
Of course, absolutely.
What's that up there on that top shelf?
We'll turn round and start talking away. What are you doing?
Oh, can I have one of those, please? And I'm gonna see if I can try and scamper. I don't know how high this fish is mounted, but I'm gonna scamper up and see how attached to the wall it is.
Okay.
Not even just the eye, just the whole fish.
Just the whole.
Well,
fish.
at first, I'm gonna go ambitious for the whole fish, and if that doesn't work, then maybe I'll work my way down.
Well, Paul, I'll need to get my step ladder out. It is very high up.
Yes, of course.
Believe it's in the cellar. I'll be right back. And just opens a hatch and disappears down the cellar. You are alone in the bar.
I'm gonna kind of clamber up to it and see how heavy it is. Like it compared to me, how big is it? Like could I?
It's a
potentially
big old fish. It is a big thing by comparison.
Okay, I think I probably get up there and I kind of realize that okay, this isn't gonna fit under my cloak. And then I see that eye winking at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna try and pry it out with my beak.
Okay. Yeah, make a
sleight
of beak check here to see if you can get it out without damaging
at
too
this
much.
point. I think at this point, because I tried to steer you away from it, and then I saw you were going to do it anyway. I just carry on into the next room, just like I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you're on a field trip with your dealer. Like that must be kind of awkward.
I think given I'd already walked in, I'll have stuck my head back out to see what's holding you two up, and I'm just watching Poe try to steal this eye. Can I make a self-imposed wisdom saving throw?
Yes, please.
See, counterpoint. I just rolled a natural 20, so I got a 27 on my sleight of beak.
Okay.
So I think I maybe have very deftly plucked out the eye of this fish, and I'm storing it in my bill for later.
When you cry.
Whatever it is, you're clearly doing something you're not meant to.
I
did
always
get an
look suspicious.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you're looking suspicious with a giant fish, which is something new. I did get an 18, so I'm just quietly telling myself, crimes are bad. Crimes are bad. Crime is bad.
You feel
Bad
a
crime.
flash in your brain again. Crime is bad.
Crime is bad. Crime is bad. And I'm just gonna walk away.
And yeah, you do manage to take this eye out of the fish and store it.
So
in your
around
bill.
this glass eye, I say, "What are you looking at?" And then I just walk in.
Oh, at that point, he comes back out of the cellar to like close it over. Right, I'll get you some snake venom. Oh, well, I guess I'll pour them one anyway, and we'll pour out the drinks for you and like take it back through. But at this point, you are in the back room and you'll see that sat at the table is Sage Elowen, the kind of elderly hedgehog, and next to her is this giant goose. Wearing a monocle and like a big mustache, and he is clearly very drunk. And Sage Elowen will see Penelope and be like, "Oh, you came. Do you speak to Desmond?"
I've got the map. I also brought Rory and Poe.
Right. Hi, Rory. Hi, Poe. How are you doing, Poe? Are you well? Keeping well?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you doing, sister?
I have been better, I have to say. But I'm glad to see two faces I know well. And Rory, Penelope has said that you could be a valuable asset to what is likely to be coming up ahead of you.
I mean, I've done some training with swords, so if there's any kind of daring dude that needs doing, then I can do it.
She's going to make a wisdom saving throw for that. And as you finish saying that, two things will happen. Ernest will walk in with your drinks, and at the sniff of the alcohol, the goose will just be like, "And welcome in, everybody. I hear you're all off on an adventure very soon. Who are you?"
Allegedly.
Pointing at Penelope.
I'm Penelope. I'm the new person. Are you very drunk?
No, I'm the mayor.
I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna look at Sage Elowen. Shall we sober him up?
People have tried.
Have you tried water?
Oh, he's a waterfowl. It's the first thing we went for.
Have you tried a lot of water?
We threw him in the loch. You dunk him and it doesn't work. He floats.
Have you tried putting the water on him?
Yeah, we've done everything we can. Like, he's here because it's official, and without it, we won't be able to sign off on the funds.
Do we actually need him?
Well, legally, yes.
But practically,
Practically, no. He won't remember any of this.
Okay, then it's fine. And Poe probably would have noticed. I took the crystal out when I started talking about water, and just like sparks started flying around my hand as I was starting an incantation, and then I put it away.
Mayor, you know what I think you could do with? I think
it's that
you...
I know what it is, but I think I can guess.
I think you would do with a beautiful new jacket with pockets for bottles.
And lots of buttons.
A bottle jacket, buttons. What do I need that for?
Keeping all your bottles in.
But I don't keep the bottles. I drink from them and throw them away. Ernest picks them up.
But you could
takes
have
them.
fresh ones ready to go.
That's the bit.
Is this bottle jacket urgent?
I mean, I might be homeless if I don't get the bottle jacket sorted, so...
Oh, we're very good.
You
to...
might be homeless if we don't find the druids, from what I
Also
understand.
that, but I thought I'd just get this over and done with.
We're very, very good to the homeless here in Achray. You can count.
This is
on
true, I
that.
am homeless.
So
Good to everybody.
Drinks, everyone.
I'm gonna hand him my pint.
Thanks very much. We'll down it. And the sage. will-
Sister.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you have the map, and you feel like you can head out. You've assembled 3 of you. Is this
Yes.
2 so far.
2 so far? Okay.
There were some negotiations outstanding.
Okay.
We've negotiated, you've agreed to the terms.
At a baseline, we didn't shake on it. We said,
I'm gonna
depending on
spit
how...
in my hand and stick it out.
The goose will lick his and stick his out.
I assume it just
What
smells
did you-
of spirits.
No naked flames in here, please.
I'll keep it in mind.
You can have my cut of shiny things.
Ella wouldn't be like, and what is it you need, my son?
You know I can never refuse you anything. You've been so good to me. I just... This seems like a lot of danger, and... there's been some shiny stuff on the table, not gonna lie. But... there was mention of a medal, and I don't necessarily need any ceremony. I don't need a title. I just, is there a medal?
And this the goose be like, oh, is it a medal giving ceremony? Where's my scissors? Where's my fabric scissors for that ribbon? No, that will come, Mayor. We can ask Morag to make you a medal. That would be no problem at all.
Done. And I lick my feathery hand, and I shake Pen's spitty hand.
And the mayor will be like, and with the power invested in me here as the mayor of Achray, I now
Don't touch me.
pronounce... Okay. So that's 3 of
This
you.
is a very odd place.
I just sort of nod at you.
It's a family. It's a family dynasty, and we're trying to get them out.
I can help with that. No, bad.
A flash in your brain.
Working on it.
So 3 of you, you know, like, is this everybody? I don't want to give you all the information until we know that everybody knows what they're doing and that they're ready to go.
I think so. We were told we're not allowed to bring some lady's husband, but I don't know who that is, so
Zoom out
that
of the
shouldn't be a
scene.
problem.
And sat around a lovely dining table is Red and the wife and the kids, and they're all just enjoying a lovely spread. And Hetty's just like, can't say it, can't say it, can't say it. And she's just like, get like spooning out food at this point. How was your morning round? Was everyone happy?
Ah, you know I love him more than everyone was on top form. And in between talking, Red is just gonna pet at his plate. So he's using like a spoon. He's just like yeah, I gave out the bread. And you know, I even got Ernest to have a beer. He's gonna put us on tap.
Right. So you What are you selling one of your own, or what's happening with that one?
Yeah. We got our own special going on. I'm gonna give him a little taster of the barley, the wheat, and the yolk, but then we'll let him decide. I think, little prickly guy, he needs a little lift up, doesn't he?
Albie will just shout out, going, "Daddy, we met people going on an adventure."
Oh, did you? Where were they off to? Just down the road and back again?
I think they were talking about going to see the druids. And
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Hetty be like, "Oh, don't worry your father about those things. He's got a lot going on with the bakery now, with this beer, and there's a lot to go, a lot to do."
the druids, I guess I, didn't see them on my run. I wonder why someone's going to see him. That's quite interesting.
She'll just spoon more food onto your plate. Well, I don't know. I saw Desmond talking to some of the young'uns, and was that Poe character? The tailor, Rory, was there, and
Yeah, I guess
yeah, that fox you've been chatting with occasionally.
Little Red. Well, I wonder what those three are getting up to together. Must be quite an adventure.
Well, good for them, I say, but adventuring days.
It's dangerous
behind.
on the road.
It is
Dangerous on the road for three little chicklins, little chicken nuggets, without a guide. Someone who knows the way around.
She will turn around and just kind of face the wall.
But something's happened to the circle, Hetty. We wanted to make this our home. If they're not safe, then who is?
We're safe. We have the four of us. We have everything we need. We can't risk all of that. They'll be fine.
Yeah. But what if they're not?
Then it's not our business.
I think everyone's our business. That's how you make it a home. I'm just going to see what's going on, okay? I'll be back.
Well, I know you've already made up your mind. Just...
I love you.
I know.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit, my little chicken nuggets. And he gives them like a nuzzling. The two kids, the little twins.
You'll be back for dinner, right?
I'm just going to make sure that everything's ready for the next batch of bread. But if I'm not around to sing my song tomorrow, maybe you can. Huh? Do you remember the words?
What were the words again?
You know what? Your mum knows it. She'll teach it to you. But I'll be back soon. I promise.
You up and leave, and zooming back to the other scene where we were told that we weren't to tell someone's husband. The door just opens and in comes Red.
Nice to see you up and about, Mare.
I'm having a morning libation, Red. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. Hi, kids.
Up.
He never really is. Sage, what's going on?
Well, the I received a letter this morning from, to be frank, I'm not quite sure where. Yes, this one. Something has happened to the Circle of Blaeberries, and that strikes fear directly into my heart. And I feel... We don't know exactly what. The letter just says that the circle is broken, and a strange ritual may be afoot. So I think it's important that someone with a little bit more energy and vim than I ever have left takes a look. Because if not, I don't want to think about what might happen here in Achray. Those druids are incredibly important for blessing these lands and making sure that soils are fertile. You have the homestead, you know exactly what that would mean for you if that didn't continue. So we need people to go.
Red kind of reflects for a moment and then looks at the other three gathered in the tavern, just composes himself and goes, bunch of druids getting into a little mischief. Can't be that bad, can it? Well, we'll set off. We'll be back by dinner, I reckon.
How far
How's that sound?
actually is
Look
it
at the
away?
It's gonna look at the map and try to parse the distance.
Yeah.
It's probably about a 2-day journey.
Maybe by dinner at the end of the week.
Yeah.
That's doable. If it means that everyone's back safe and sound, then yeah, it's worth it.
You're gonna be all right. Missing a couple of dawns, morning bird.
Ah, well, I won't be missing the dawns. I'll just be spending them with you lot instead.
Right. Can't wait.
Okay. Neither can I. But don't worry, I'll wake you up so you won't miss it. And gives him a really big slap on the back.
A glass eye flies out. Hangs off the back wall.
Sage Elwyn will just like dash it, like dart an eye at you.
Found it.
Really? Where did that one come from? Pick it up before anyone notices.
Sorry, put it back. And I scurry over and pick it up, put it in my pocket. Sorry.
Don't you worry, Sage. I'll straighten these little rascals out. You know me.
Well, you're one of the ones who's got the most experience on the road, might we say. So
We've all got a little backstory, but let's not get into that. Let's just make sure we're all limbered up and packed and ready to go, really. Before we head off, Ernest, can I have a word?
Oh, of course. In
Right.
private?
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Okay. Sure. Scuttle out of the room, taking away the empty glasses that the mayor has left. He's kind of snoring on the table. What can I do you for?
Look, we'll sort out the house brew when we're back. Just tell Hetty 4 days. I'll be back after that, and I'm sorry.
Oh, and for you, let her know. Do you need me checking
Alright.
on the kids, or?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. They like you. Well, they mostly like pushing each other into you and watching the other one squeal. But yeah, check in on them. It will cheer them up. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Before you go, here, take this, and it has a little velvet bag filled with dog biscuits. Keep them fed
Thanks.
on the roads. Stay
Oh,
safe out there.
I know you're always looking out for him. Yeah, I'll take good care of him. Don't worry, he'll get fed. Thanks.
And then from like head on the tail, we sort of. Right, he's out on the road then. What's happening? I need another drink.
I don't think you do.
No, I always do. If you're heading out on an adventure, then you'll need stuff to take with you. Help yourself to stuff from the shops, and the town will pay for it. God only knows we have the money.
Well, get that in writing.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a pen? Elowen will be like, "Yep, absolutely." Like takes the letter you've got and turns it round.
I was halfway to pulling out one of Poe's feathers as soon as he asked for a pen.
Ooh. And we'll begin to kind of write down a contract to say that the town will cover any of the costs for you on your way out of the town. And Mayor, if you could just pop your signature at the bottom, is that absolutely? And it's just a line as he scrolls on the page. Good luck on your sabbatical.
Can I attempt to intercept that note as it gets passed to Pen?
What, you want it first?
I'll let you take it.
Oh, okay. In which case, I think I'm trying to intercept it, but Pen's actually just letting me get it. But I'm gonna hop up and kind of grab it and stuff it in my robe.
It'll be like one of those things when you're trying to pass something down a long table and you're just trying to help. Like I was already sort of handing it to you because you were the one who asked for it in writing.
Yeah, I stuff it in my tunic and kind of look shifty.
Well, be careful out on the roads. Death is a real risk and danger on this long journey you have ahead of you. Be careful. Especially going through that concrete valley, it's not a safe place.
Sounds horrible.
It is.
Nothing is as scary as shiny. Nothing is as scary as good shiny feels.
I might.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I might get that embroidered. We'll hang it up.
Well,
hang it
I
up.
know an excellent tailor.
Indeed, Rory. Maybe we'll get that commissioned as part of your payment.
I'm sure I could manage that. Although, not to be cheeky, but I'm assuming that with this particular contract, if you were to all need some travel robes and such things, cloaks and such, maybe some boots, I could possibly furnish you that, and that might help everyone.
I'm kind of set, but if the town's paying for it, I'll take your whole stock.
If it's on the mare, yeah. Tell me how much you need him to spend and I'll buy it. For the kids, they go so fast.
You can all get a new wardrobe. You can get stuff for hitting the kids. And that will pay your rent money.
I don't actually bring any of it or wear it. I just I'm assuming there's like a donation pile somewhere in the temple, and I just immediately put everything on that.
I was looking much more presentable. Still not very trustworthy looking, but like it's got a less tattered hood and slightly kind of more resilient kind of leather tunic. But as all the money is going into the till, I'll say, Rory, I do have some special stock if you'd like to look after we get back.
When we get back, yes.
They are very shiny. And I keep them only for my most discerning customers.
You can see just like...
As we get ready to leave, is there anything that anybody would specifically be doing to prepare?
I think just as everyone's putting on their new gear, Red bending down, lacing up his boots. But if anybody were to glance over, it would be a knot that they've never seen before, done, extremely fast, showing that he's laced up these boots before and he knows how to get ready to roll real quick.
As you bend down to do that, Poe, can you make me a perception check?
I was going to ask about this very thing. Okay. I don't have my dice today. I'm rolling. That is going to be perception. That's going to be a 15.
You see something shiny in a breast pocket.
Do I recognize it as...
You would recognize it. You know this. You've been interested in this for a while.
Mm-hmm. This is something that I've been coveting for longer than anything else that I don't own. And the landlord Osprey is a wily son of a bitch, and I've been trying to work out how to get at that for a long time. I've waited this long. I'm going to bide my time. But I've noted. I don't know how it got there, but the thing I want the most is closer than it's ever been. I'm just gonna head back to the shop. Gotta sort some stuff out, then I'll meet you back here. Poe's gonna pop back to his home and place of business, which is a kind of landfill / compost / budget graveyard / upcycling center / secondhand shop. And
Fruit graveyard.
Well, because it needs a new aunt. Barely used.
I see you're missing a finger. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try and I'm probably gonna dig a pit under the floor of my. There's a dirt floor of my little hovel attached to this this business. But I'm gonna dig a little pit, and hide all of my shiniest, most interesting stuff, just to make sure no one gets it while I'm away.
Okay.
And then I'll head back and meet everyone else.
As you kind of cover it over,
I do that little that little tapping
Bird
dance
pat.
that birds do. Yeah,
a couple of worms come
a
up.
few worms come up. Yeah. Take one E for the road.
As you kind of pat it down, there's just a moment where you're looking through your own eyes, and then suddenly you're looking through a younger version of Poe's eyes, as you see kind of shadowy figures, you can't really make out the face, of people just like you, a little bit bigger than you are, doing the same thing, patting the ground down, as though putting away a stash, keeping something hidden, just for a moment, and then you're back in your own body again.
Was that memory here? Was there a location to that memory?
Currently, you couldn't place it. It's more the shapes and the action.
That is more connection than I've felt to those figures in a while. So I feel a little bit shaken. Then I ruffle my feathers, grab a pair of goggles from my workbench that have very shiny lenses and very shiny kind of brass rings around the lenses, and pop them around my neck, and I'll hop off to find the rest.
Rory.
I think as well.
Oh, sorry, Red.
Oh, sorry.
No, on you go. If there's something you want to add in.
Just because Poe mentioned he's going to nip off home, so Red probably would as well. And as he gets towards the homestead, kind of, in a back, kind of drab-looking patch of what looks like wheat, he grabs a shovel and a circle of turf kind of pops open, maybe a bit easier than one might imagine. And from within there, he opens a trunk and takes out something wrapped in cloth, pops it in his bag, closes the trunk, takes a moment, and then buries the trunk again. And then joins the others.
And you don't see it, but this does happen. It's standing at the window, just watching. And then turns away to spend some time with the kids.
This is actually heartbreaking. Oh, I'll be back.
Rory, how do you prepare? Is there anything you do before you leave?
I think first of all I just sort of head over to Morag, and I bring the money that would be my rent. Just like, so turns out do I actually have that money yet, or will that be sorted later?
We can say that you have it if you want to hand it over. That's fine.
Yeah. I just I've sorted the rent. I've just got to go away for a few days, and then it should all be sorted.
Right. This is not. You're not leaving town because you're worried about what he's going to do, right? You're not just
no.
getting out of Dodge.
No. So it's actually really exciting.
Right.
Like, I mean, also kind of bad maybe, but there's going to be an adventure. We've got to go find out what's happening with the Circle of Blaeberries, but you can't tell anyone. But also,
that's amazing. That's so cool. You've always wanted something like this.
It's like I should be like, oh no, a terrible thing has happened, but also I'm just really excited.
Well, no, if there's someone like you and amongst all of that group, like, you're absolutely going to make the best of it. Like, there's no chance that... It sounds like something bad, but you're going to fix it. No issues. Right?
I mean, I will do what I can. Like...
It's all we can ever do, Rory. Do what we can.
But also, I was thinking, because... we've got this thing from the mayor. That's how we sorted this bill out. Just sort of get any equipment out from any of the shops, and then you'll get paid back later. So obviously, like, you're the blacksmith, and then just it's going to just sort of like reel off a load of sort of like metal equipment that is going to be like, probably some of it is fairly sensible, and some of it is going to be like really niche. It's like, well, we might need some pythons, some like a sauce pan or two maybe, some fish hooks would be good, and just like basically just like over preparing and simultaneously like just trying to like make his friend money at the same time.
I can do you that. Yeah, just take all the stock you like, I guess. Take what you need. And
like, obviously, I'm taking your sword, but like,
sure, I don't need it. I'm not going anywhere. Nothing bad's happening here. Like, take it where the bad thing goes.
Well, I mean, my birthday present sword, not like your sword.
Oh, I see. Well, that's fine. I would have given you that sword, but it would have probably been a bit big for you.
But it'll be really cool to have your sword, and like, you're my best friend, and like take it out and do like heroics with something you made me, and that'd be really cool.
And you know that if you're ever in a rough moment, something bad's about to happen, that sword will let you know. Good. Because you can be that person for everybody else. Make sure they know before the bad thing happens.
Exactly. Like I will like help protect these new friends, and also the Circle of Blaeberries. Like, and that's like what you've done for me, and now I will pass that on.
Good on you, Rory. You write your own story. Wow. I better get to work making new stuff since you've cleared me out. Or maybe I'll just take the rest of the day off. I think I'm going to go to the tavern and have a few after this. But you keep safe now. And I'll see you in a few days.
Yeah, see you soon. After this, Rory's going to head back to their shop, and they're going to sort of head up to their room and pick out a book off the shelf. And it's the very first book they ever got, which is The Adventures of the Purple Polecat. It's got this sort of beautiful, like, painted cover with this polecat with a big, dramatic purple cape. And I'm just going to head downstairs and find some purple, like, fabric and just start preparing the cape.
Okay. You are a tailor. I'm not going to make you roll to make that. You make like something that you've dreamed of making, rather than the usual things you've been making day to day for the people here in Achray, the people passing through. You open the door to head on your journey, and see further down the street, just walking, not seeing you, just walking with his cane, finished like after the day at work. Just your father speaking to Desmond, and you can turn and head back to the rest of the group at that point if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna like kind of dash around the corner so as not to be seen. Like, okay. I don't want to have this conversation with him right now.
Perfect. And as everybody else comes back from their individual little bits of preparation,
may I?
That's why. That's why I was coming to you. It's like as everybody else is coming to you. Don't worry.
All right. I think Pen would have found a quiet spot, one of the places she normally curls up to sleep, and would have removed her cloak, checked all of her belts and weapons, made sure her daggers are sharp. The rapier doesn't need checking, but she checks it anyways. And then she'll just sit down, put the cloak back on, and hold the clasp. So I know I'm meant to be atoning for everything I've done. But what if I have to do something bad to make something good happen?
Another flash.
What does that mean?
And we see drowning the bottom of a loch, gasping for air, darkness, nothing. And then 3 figures you can't make out. Iridescence, a measuring tape, a smell of vanilla, and a shield. And then suddenly fire, the howling of a dog, the clang of stone on metal. And you recognize, sometimes to be good, you have to be a little bad.
Well, I'm really good at that. Alright, let's fucking go.
The group get together on the edge of town. You're heading north out of Achray, and you make your way into this kind of lush, temperate rainforest on the edge of a loch. And I want one of you to do me one thing before we bring our first section to a close, and just roll me a single d6, please. If someone wants to choose.
4-way rock, paper, scissors to determine who does it.
That's the real
I'm rolling
justice.
it now. Hey, I got a 6.
Okay.
Is that good or bad?
With a 6, the opening of your journey is quiet. The
You're
air
welcome.
is still, and you still feel good, Red, despite the the sadness of leaving town. Something has changed today to make you feel just a little bit brighter. There's a little bit of a spring in your step. How is everyone else feeling as the journey begins?
I'm scheming. I am partly partly I'm trying to be very aware of our surroundings, always eyes on a swivel. Partly I'm kind of thinking about what is to come and planning that, and probably about 60% of my brain is taken up with how am I going to get that shine.
Rory,
Kind of looking at Red and analyzing how he moves his attention around, whether he has any blind spots, how conscious he seems to be of his kit and equipment.
Penelope, Rory.
I think Penelope hadn't realized quite how uncomfortable she was in Achray. In civilization, and being back in the woods has calmed her somewhat. And she started not immediately going back to her old habits, but started getting her eye in for the little trails that she would have used before she came to Achray, and starting to compare that mentally to the map and thinking, how can we, what's the best way to go? And what's the best way we can go that we wouldn't be seen? Just getting more and more comfortable in this space.
Always probably getting slightly less comfortable as we start to leave town, because he doesn't leave town a huge amount, and he has some uncomfortable experiences with the concept of leaving town in the past.
And finally, Rory.
I think initially there is that sort of buoyant sense of like excitement, adventure, sort of, oh my god, this is what I've always wanted. But then there's sort of the fact that adventure isn't just like swinging from the mast straight away, and it is just going to be a lot of walking, I think, and the others aren't necessarily Pen and Poe aren't necessarily the most conversive of folks. I think there's like a bit of sort of introspection going on, and there is just that kind of nagging voice of their dad in the back of their mind. Just be like, almost that sort of like, it's like, this isn't, why can't you just settle down and be sensible? Why can't you just be normal? Why can't you just get your head out of the clouds and live in the real world? And there's just a slight sort of deflation of that initial sort of joy and excitement. And I'm not quite sure what to do with that feeling.
Three of our party walking in fairly contemplated silence, and I imagine Red playing a horn, singing a song.
Well, Red's still adjusted to leaving his entire family behind, even though he'd probably see me back for dinner. But if you look closely at him, like, his neck is just going like that a little bit, and then just in the background it's like, you can tell by the way I use my like, he's back on his bullshit a little bit.
We then
Back, baby!
zoom out of this scene to a space east of Achray, where we see a pair of very large hands holding a boulder, an immense piece of metal, and strikes them together. Sparks fly, and the flames catch. And that's what we'll pick up next time.